I have some amazing video from radical Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert's recent debate. As some of you may know, there is a 2022 midterm election just around the corner, now about 7 weeks away. And some of the main debates are starting. We are following very closely. Will John Fetterman and Mehmet Oz debate? Will Herschel Walker finally agree to debate Raphael Warnock? And we are following all of these. Lauren Boebert participated in a debate against her opponent, Adam Frisch, and she seemed to glitch very, very badly. I don't know how many of you remember when Marco Rubio, during a Republican primary debate in 2016, repeated the same answer multiple times, almost like a glitchy robot. I don't know how many of you remember Kelly Loeffler with her radical liberal Raphael Warnock repeated line during her debates with Raphael Warnock. Lauren Boebert answering close to a dozen questions by talking about Nancy Pelosi and her con game. It is bizarre. The Boebert bot glitching badly. Check this out.
Candidate Boebert, you have 3 minutes for that.
Nancy Pelosi is running a con game in Washington, D.C.
By the way, Nancy Pelosi is not Lauren Boebert's opponent, in case you thought maybe that's why she kept talking about Pelosi.
Nancy's con game works like this. Fire Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi's...
I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi. I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi plays in it with Pelosi's con game. Pelosi pushes this, but she will put a 2,000-page bill on our desks at midnight. Nancy Pelosi's con game, playing Nancy's con game to do it.
Yeah.
DC to play Nancy Pelosi's con game. It makes me terribly sad when Nancy Pelosi uses the thing. It meant
Pelosi,
more inflation, more borrowing from China, and Pelosi knows it. Pelosi's con games. This was a blank check, and
Okay, I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi.
there was no interest. And Nancy Pelosi is running a con game. Under Pelosi, Democrats are told the Pelosi con game in Aspen. And just like Pelosi, budget committee. And Nancy Pelosi will not, it's not time to help Nancy Pelosi. It is time to fire Nancy Pelosi. This election, say no to liberal extremists and their army of IRS agents.
I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi. I'm Adam Frisch. I'm not Nancy Pelosi.
Okay. They have quite literally nothing to offer. There is nothing to offer there. And if you live in Lauren Boebert's district in Colorado, it's a very red district. I understand that. And Boebert, no, actually, this may be a district that was redrawn. So in any case, previously, Boebert's district was a very red district. Fine. You don't like Nancy Pelosi, but don't you as a Republican in her district, Boebert's district, still want to hear some vision of what Boebert will do, even if it's things that I don't agree with? Don't their own voters want to hear, here are the types of regulations I'm going to try to get cut. Here's how I would change the tax code. Here are the types of projects I would support in order to bring dollars into this district. Like, it seems weird that even the voters in Colorado are so concerned with Nancy Pelosi in this way that this would be an effective campaign strategy. But the saddest thing about it is this stuff can probably work okay. In these highly weaponized electorates, when you have such a highly weaponized constituency as Lauren Boebert does, where they don't even really understand the types of things Lauren Boebert could be advocating for them, they have become propagandized to the point where her own voters believe the role of someone like Boebert, whoever is their member of Congress, is to do things like fight the Pelosi con job. We have such a lack of education and understanding of what these elected officials can even do for us that there was a time where the way that these debates would go would be a focus on the district. And sure, yeah, I mean, listen, Congress has a investigative role when it comes to whether to bring articles of impeachment, and Congress has an oversight role. Of course, they choose the Speaker of the House. Yes, but there was a time when what voters wanted to hear was their candidates' understanding of their district, not what's going on in Nancy Pelosi's San Francisco or in Washington, D.C. Understand what's going on in our district. Hey, you know what? In our district, we have a dozen bridges that are rated low, whatever, high risk of possible failure. Here are the 3 ways in which I'm going to take care of those bridges in our district so that all of your commutes to work are safer, so that we don't risk huge traffic interruptions when these and loss of life. We prevent loss of life when you and your kids are driving over. This is just an example. But there was a time where that was the approach. And the candidates would debate about, well, I would like to better our infrastructure this way versus the other candidate wants to better our infrastructure that way. I'm talking 30 years ago, at least. Okay. But that's the way it used to be. It's now, oh, Nancy Pelosi's con job. And this is something they've tried before with this stuff. It fortunately failed for Kelly Loeffler. But remember when Kelly Loeffler pulled this or tried to pull it against Raphael Warnock during that special election in 2021?
The Democrats want to fundamentally change America, and the agent of change is my opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. My opponent, radical liberal Raphael Warnock. 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 Radical liberal Raphael Warnock is a socialist. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock.
Anyway, it goes on from there. Now, fortunately, in that special election in Georgia, it didn't work. And there were some special dynamics, including, quite frankly, that Trump and people around him were saying it was all rigged anyway in Georgia in November. And that probably dissuaded a lot of Republicans from even going out to vote on January 5th in that special election. Because, listen, even their dear orange leader told them it's all rigged. Your vote essentially doesn't matter. So a lot of special things went on there. And so it didn't work for Loeffler. But this is not a new thing. And it has succeeded for them to some degree because their constituents accept it. They have come to embrace a complete lack of policy discussion, in exchange accepting things like, well, Warnock's a socialist and Nancy Pelosi's running a con job. Let's see how it works out for them in November. Next week on 9/19, September 19, we will be doing our next one-day membership special, folding in many new members into the ranks of membership, I hope. If you've been thinking, I would get a membership, but it's got to be a good deal. Get on my newsletter at davidpakman.com, and then next Monday, 9/19, you'll get an email from us bright and early in the morning telling you how to take advantage of this great membership discount. One of our sponsors is Allform, the easiest way to design your own custom sofa. I have one from Allform. Unlike other companies, Allform lets you choose the fabric, the size, the shape, color, even the color of the legs. I have not one, but 2 Allform sofas. I've had them for years. They look good as new. Definitely the most comfortable furniture I own. And it gets even cooler because Allform sofas are completely modular. You can buy a sofa, and if you move, you can adapt it to the new space by adding onto it or rearranging its elements. That is definitely not something you get from your typical sofa company. Allform has everything from 8-piece sectionals to love seats and armchairs. Everything is made in the USA using premium materials. Allform makes sure that assembly is really easy. I didn't even need any tools, which is good because I have very few tools. And you can keep the sofa for over 3 months and send it back free if you don't like it for a full refund. Right now, Allform is giving my audience 20% off all orders at allform.com/Pacman. The link is down below.